Sorry about that. How's it going, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with a little video for you. Just a bit of a reaction to some breaking news that I've just read an article on Sky Sports about an hour ago or so, but it was brought to my attention by a friend of mine, and apparently Inter, Milan and Manchester United have now agreed a loan deal to take Alexis Sanchez from Manchester to Milan for the season in a non-permanent loan deal. So we're talking about him joining Inter for the remainder of the season and paying probably not a large amount of his wages, because obviously Manchester United put him on a ridiculous amount of money and nobody was going to pay him that anywhere near that money. So it's believed that they'll probably pay somewhere around half of his wages, something like that. So I wanted to jump on here and just let you guys know, because it's been reported by Sky. You know, Sky in Italy have got a hold of this apparently, and Alexis Sanchez is due to fly to Milan for a medical on Wednesday, which is obviously tomorrow. So if that is the case, then I'd just like to say, get in there, my son! Because we're finally going to get rid of that Bruno Mars impersonator, Alexis Sanchez, who has been stealing a very good living indeed at Manchester United for the last year. And although it may not be a permanent move, I do think that Manchester United will probably benefit from this. I know that's crazy to say with the lack of depth we got up there. You know, if Martial's picked up a knock, then we've got Mason Greenwood, who's perhaps going to have to come in, only 17 years of age. But I can see what some people are saying. It'd be nice to have Alexis Sanchez round. It would be nice to have the old Alexis Sanchez round. But based on what he did at United over the last season in a United shirt, he's just not been that same player. Now, I know for Chile he's good. For Arsenal, he was a match winner. So, it's crazy to lose a player like Alexis Sanchez when we didn't go out there and sign some other players. But I'm sorry, it's not the same Alexis Sanchez in my opinion. I don't think it's ever going to work out for him. I think he's paid a ridiculous amount of money, doesn't put back into the club anywhere near the amount that he's paid. So I say it makes sense to go and lumber another club with him, basically. And they can pay a percentage of it towards the upkeep of his wages. So let me just read the article. So, Sky in Italy, basically the Serie A side are expected to contribute about 5 million euros of the Chilean forward's salary, and he's set to arrive in Milan on Wednesday for a medical. So 5 million, I don't really know how much he's paid a year, but if he's paid, let's say 400,000 pounds, let's just say 5 because it's easy to do it in our heads, isn't it? That's 6 million pounds a year, right? So if they're paying 5 million euros to pounds conversion, it's about 60% or something of his actual wages that Inter Milan will pay. Now, they were never going to pay 100% because nobody in their right mind other than stupid potato boy Ed Woodward would come anywhere near that figure for Alexis Sanchez, for any player basically, unless their name's freaking Lionel Ronaldo. So I think that's actually pretty decent to get him off the books there. And yeah, we're losing out on a good player that we could use. But it kind of is good because it gives Ollie, it takes away that old burden that's been on United's shoulders, that will he come good, won't he come good? The same pressure that's currently on Paul Pogba, the same pressure that was on Romelu Lukaku, and maybe these players are just never going to be able to turn that corner at United and be those players that they were elsewhere, or that they probably will be elsewhere. I mean, Lukaku obviously gone to Inter Milan as well, so Alexis Sanchez could be joining up with him for the ultimate shite Manchester United B team, basically. I think Pogba, instead of going to Juventus or Real Madrid, he should go to Inter Milan and join up with those guys. The sad thing is, he'd probably do well over there, Sanchez and Lukaku and Pogba, wherever he ends up if he does leave. Because they are good players, I just don't think they're the right fit for Manchester United for a various amount of reasons. And Sanchez, okay, he only played 20 games or whatever and scored a few goals, but he was bang bloody average last year. And he doesn't justify the wages that he's on because he's on big money. Money that could be used elsewhere to bring players in, that could be used on other quality players' salaries. So I think that it's actually a good move. Even though United have a skeleton squad, we don't have any depth there. We'd have to give it Mason Greenwood to sort of deputise as a 17-year-old forward. But I like that. Bring him on. Let's see what he can do. Give him game time. We're forced to give him game time then. It cannot be any worse than the dreary shite last season, really. I know we've had a shite start of this season, okay, maybe it could be worse. But I'd like to see the youth given opportunities. Instead of Pogba, I'd like to see Garner. Instead of Lingard, I'd like to see Angel Gomez or Chong. And if we don't have a fit Marcio up top there, I'd like to see Mason Greenwood up there. So I think it's actually kind of good because it forces Manchester United's hand to play these younger lads. So, Sanchez is a good player. He was good in the Copa America for Chile. He's obviously got the talent, but for United, just not the right fit. That's my personal opinion on it anyway. Bunch of people in here tuning in live. Thanks very much to everybody who's stopping by. You're a bunch of legends. Do us a favour, smash a like on this video if you're in here and get in the comment section. I'll definitely be going through your comments momentarily. I really wanted to just make this video to let you know that I think it's actually good that this is looking likely to happen anywhere. Obviously, stuff can fall down between now and then, but apparently the deal's been reached between Inter and United for the loan move, so hopefully that will take place, whether or not it's a permanent move or it's just until the end of the season. Either way, it gets the wages off of our books for that year, or a large percentage of them anyway. So that can only be a good thing. But we've got to use it correctly. I mean, we're going to have to do a lot in January because, unfortunately, the Glazers and Woodward just didn't do enough in the summer transfer window. Again, typically, because they're a bunch of bloody losers, man. They've got their mind elsewhere. They're not really 100% committed to United, I don't think. And otherwise, they'd have strengthened where we needed it. We all knew we needed more players. Ole Gunnar Solskjær wanted more players. I'm sure he was very annoyed with the lack of midfielders that we got in the summer transfer window, and maybe even a backup. Would have been nice to have at least another CM to replace Ander Herrera, at least another striker to replace Romelu Kaku just as a backup, or somebody to deputise even. And it would have been nice to have another winger as well. Absolutely would, because people like Sanchez not going to do it. Let's say Rashford picks up a knock. Let's say James picks up a knock. Who have we got to really come in there? We don't necessarily have Mata can't play out there. It's not his right position. You're going to have to stick Angel Gomez there or whatever. So, let me know what you guys think in the comment section about it. But it finally looks like Alexis Sanchez is going to be leaving the building. I would like to say a big thank you, actually, just while I've got you guys on here, to Alex Norman and also to Stephen Zevon for helping me come up with and making. Well, Alex Norman's actually made the new logo you can see on YouTube, so we've got a new Flying Pig United logo, which I absolutely love. Thank you very much, Alex Norman, for doing that, and also Stephen Zevon for helping me come up with ideas and things like that. You're also a legend. So you're a bunch of legends. Thanks very much for doing that. You can also check out Alex Norman's called Hot Shot on YouTube. I'll put a link in the description. I haven't done that yet. To his YouTube channel, so go check him out. Thank you very, very much indeed for doing that, guys. Right, let's get into your comments then, see what you guys think about the impending move of Alexis Sanchez to Inter Milan from Manchester United on a season-long loan, with most of his wages being covered by Inter Milan. That is what we're led to believe. That should be what's happening. Tomorrow, Alexis Sanchez is due to have a medical in Milan to finalise the deal, etc. So there'll be more movement on that, and I'll be doing another video obviously tomorrow. Tomorrow we've got the Pig and the Hen show at 3 p.m. UK time as well. I'm glad that Spurs got beaten by Newcastle at the weekend as well. I really am, because just imagine what Henry would have been like after United lost to Crystal Palace. He would have been absolutely insufferable, that man. Unbearable. So I'm just so glad. I'm so happy that Newcastle beat Spurs in that game anyway, because he's still going to be bloody insufferable and unbearable, I'm sure, but it's just not quite to the same level or degree. So that is awesome. Right, guys, I can see Ibrahim Sidat says, hello, mate. Hello to you, Ibrahim. Thank you very much for getting in here. Much appreciate. You're the first commenter. True lad. Fun Guy says, seen the new logo on Twitter. Looks class. Absolutely, mate. Thank you so much, Alex Norman, and also Stephen Jevon as well for the ideas. You're a bunch of freaking legends. The Whistler, Boomchenka, hello to you. Hello, 838. I love the name. Hello to you. He comes and says, hopefully we get rid of Sanchez permanently next season. Waste of space. Yes, so if it's just a temporary move this season for Inter Milan, basically to see if they want him or not, which does make sense. I mean, I wouldn't commit to signing Alexis Sanchez right now based on the last season and based on how much money he's on at this moment in time. I'd like to see what he can do to perhaps justify maybe getting a permanent move. And for United, I think that'd be a really good thing if that did eventually happen, just because he's on so much bloody money. He ruins the wage structure of the club. It's probably the reason we lost Ander Herrera, because we could not justify to Ander Herrera, look, we don't think you're worth 300k a week or 280k or 250k or whatever it is, which he is not. Ander Herrera's a 180k a week player. He's a good player. He's one of United's better midfielders. He was. not a great player. And if he's looking to get more money, he can get that elsewhere. I guess PSG do tend to pay a premium for players. But what it does is it sends out the wrong message to the squad, where you're basically saying, look, we've got these big names over there who are being paid thrice the amount of you guys, but we're still expecting you to perform better than them, even though they don't turn up and they're absolutely shite. So I can understand why that would mess up a dressing room. Just drinking out of my new You Betcha Minnesota mug there, which my brother brought over from America. He's now gone back, so pretty sad. That's why there's not been any content on the channel for a day or two, because I've just been making the most of the short time that my brother was here. But I am going to get him on some weekly podcasts and things like that from now on. So my brother, Tactician Tom, will be coming on a weekly podcast. Hopefully we'll be able to make that work. And also he'll still do his breakdown, his tactical breakdowns and stuff going forward. But it was great to see him anyway. Yeah, I agree with you, Hello 838. I do think permanently it would be a nice deal to get him off the books, because he's a waste of space. Comment from Zayad Al-Kandari. How you doing? Thank you very much for getting involved. Hi, did you see Bury FC? Very sad. Do you know what? I just saw it. I haven't had a chance to read it. Let me just go back on Sky Sports, actually, because there is some more breaking news here. Bury expelled from EFL. Hold on a second. Bury fans have been dreading, the news Bury fans have been dreading came after data analytics company, CNN, blah, 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 Bury, no way, are you kidding me? So it's actually the EFL statement. The EFL board met earlier this evening after a long and detailed discussion determined that Bury FC's membership of the English Football League be withdrawn after the deadline passed at 5 p.m. today without a successful resolution. Oh my days, man! That is absolutely shocking. I think with a club with a history like Bury's, who've been around for so long, and Bolton are in the same bracket. I mean, these are true pioneers of English football. They've been around for absolutely years. They service a community. I mean, I really truly believe that the EFL should have given them longer to work on this, just to find somebody, because you know somebody somewhere would want to take over that club if the price is right. I think the current owners and all that sort of stuff, they've had an absolute bloody double daymare, and they should be absolutely embarrassed with how they've run the football club into the ground there. But the Football League, I mean, there's so much money within the Football League. I think this is just a step too far right now. By all means, give them a certain amount of time. But, I mean, they granted a short extension to see if they could get the deal done with a new takeover. Something's fallen down, probably in the details, because there's so much stuff to go through. And the deadline was so short, really. So I think it's very sad, mate. Thank you for bringing that to my attention properly there. I mean, if that is the case and Bury FC are no longer, I mean, I think it's very sad indeed. I think it's really, really sad. And it should never come to that. It should never come to that, really. Whether it be having proper financial fair play rules in place so clubs cannot overspend and damage themselves in the long term, or whether it be, you know, having to have certain insurances in place, certain you know, proofs in place before buying the club. Like, you shouldn't, for instance, Manchester United, even though the Glazers have got this big business portfolio and they are absolutely minted, what they effectively bought Manchester United with is borrowed money, is debt. So that shouldn't be allowed. Stuff like that should just be completely eradicated from the game. If you want to be a fit and proper person and be a football club owner, then you do actually have to be a fit and proper person, and that doesn't mean borrowing money from elsewhere. It doesn't mean running the club into the ground by financial mismanagement. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of how this club really has got to the position that it's in, but I think it's very, very sad indeed, because that is a community's football club. And yeah, they might not be Real Madrid or Barcelona or Manchester United, but they still are loved by the local community. And the local community haven't stopped supporting them. They haven't stopped putting the money into the club. So something's gone seriously wrong somewhere. That's what I am very disappointed about. Thank you very much for your comment there. We got a comment from Lychee or Lychee Barton. How you doing? He says, big up from Australia, Piggy. Big up to you, buddy. G'day over there. Thank you very much for tuning in, Cobber. Absolute legend. Thank you very much for getting in here. And I don't know what time it is there, mate, but what do you think about Alexis Sanchez going to Inter, though, on loan? I think it's bloody amazing, because he's bloody useless. If they want to come in and take Pogba on loan for the rest of the season, do it. Do you know what I mean? Unite the trio of mediocrity in Milan. Do you know what I mean? You know, United had the Holy Trinity. You know, we had Best, Law, Charlton. Well, now you've got the holy, the holy trio of mediocrity. The holy mediocre trinity. Alexis Sanchez, Romelu Lukaku, and Paul Pogba. Overpaid, overhyped. I say we call them the new mediocre trinity. Anyway. We've got a comment here from Hotshot who comments and says, "Where hey pig, straight on it, out with the old, in with the new." There he is, Hotshot. I just said hot shit. Well, you are hot shit as well, pal, and your logo's hot shit too. But Hotshot, thank you so much for doing the logo, buddy. Click on his name, Hotshot, subscribe to his channel. You're an absolute legend. Thanks so much for getting in here as well. What do you guys think about the new logo? Shout out to Hotshot. Get your thoughts and opinions in. Let him know what you think. I think it's bloody awesome. F. Jones comments with a super chat. Thank you very much for getting involved here, Mr. F. Jones. Says, "Yes, Pig, how's it going, mate? NUFC fan, but love the channel. Crikey, we've got a Newcastle supporter in the house. Few and far between, my friend. Very happy to have you in here. What do you think about Steve Bruce as your manager, eh? Amazing result for you guys at the weekend. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, pal, for beating Spurs, honestly. I'd have never heard the bloody end of that Crystal Palace result off of Henry tomorrow if you didn't do that. So, appreciate Newcastle, loving them more than ever. By the way, Domit had Harry Kane in his back pocket, lad. Crazy. Adfilling Skills comments, "Sanchez the flop, I hate him." Yeah, he's a big time flop, no doubt in that. The Music Fiend, "Solid acquisition for Milan and more space for Greenwood." Yeah, like I was saying a moment ago, I think that's actually very true. Like, it does sort of play Ollie's hand in the sense that he's going to have to play these young players. He's going to have to give game time to Mason Greenwood, even if he's coming on as a late substitute and things like that. But if there is a knock to Martial or Rashford, then guess what? Greenwood's next in line. He's going to have to come in there and play. So I think that's fantastic for the progression of our younger players, because it does mean that somebody like Greenwood is going to get time. Whereas if you're just putting Sanchez in there because he's a big name on big money and hoping he's going to perform when he's probably not, I don't think that's the right way to go. It would hinder Mason Greenwood. So we're going to see a vast improvement between now and the end of the season of Mason Greenwood due to the fact Sanchez is pissing off. Thank you very much for your comment there. Liam comments, "Ollie, last 15 games, 3 wins, 3 draws, 9 losses. Sadly, is not the guy." That is an absolutely gashtastic shite record. Let's be perfectly honest now. That is dreary. That is absolutely dreary. But just give him a little bit more time, lad, okay? Sometimes it's got to get worse to get better. We can't have it both ways. Now we're saying get rid of the prima donnas. We've actually weakened our team in some ways. If you factor in getting... You know, if Ander Herrera leaves, if Lukaku leaves, if Sanchez leaves, 3 big-name players, maybe they haven't worked out, but they're still big players. Those 3 players leave. You get Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, and James. I don't think you've really improved much. In fact, you might have made yourself worse in some departments because some of that quality and experience has gone. Look at Lukaku. I mean, he was never fantastic for United, but he still scored goals. He still did contribute goals here and there. So, do you know what I mean? Like, give him a bit of time. I love Ole Gunnar Solskjær. I just think we don't want to become that club that just acts as manager straight away just because they don't immediately take to it like a duck to water. There's so much that goes into managing a football club. It's different to how it was. Ollie's job would be made easier if the Glazers had done us proud in the window and signed a lot more players. He would have had a better squad to work with, better midfield. We're seriously lacking in midfield. We've now got an injury to Luke Shaw. If you look at the squad we've got, if we get injuries in key areas like we're starting to get, then we could be absolutely up shit creek, lads. So it's the Glazers, man, and Woodward, they haven't set us up well this season. You can blame Ollie all you want, fair enough, but they haven't put us in the prime position to actually have a good start to the season, I'm afraid. Now, hopefully in January we can do some business there, but I think we've got too much faith in players who are either too young and improving and have a learning curve, or we're putting faith in players who maybe just mentally are not even at the races. Like, for instance, I think Paul Pogba, we all consider him one of United's truly world-class players, but you don't see it very often. And maybe he's got one foot out the door. F. Jones says, terrible acquisition for Milan. Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, let's see how he does for them. He'll probably rip it up. He'll probably rip Serie A right up, in my opinion, because he is a good player, and they'll have a point to prove. That's what always happens with these wanky players that come to United just for the money. They always go elsewhere and they do well. Look at bloody Di Maria. He's absolutely dobby shite at Manchester United. Goes over to PSG. He's very, very good indeed. It pisses me right off. Who else? I mean, I was going to say Mkhitaryan, but he's just shit everywhere. Yeah, so it's not worked out well for him, but I think he'll actually probably do quite well over there. I mean, I hope not. I really hope not, but in a way I hope he does, because then maybe they do want him permanently. We've got a comment from, I'm going to say Connor, but I believe it's Russian. I can't pronounce it, my friend, but thank you very much for getting in here. He comments and says, at least we will get a lot of money for him, but we don't have the depth, which I think is bad. Yeah, I mean, in terms of getting money for him, maybe if there's a future deal, we might get something, but at least it does save us a lot of money. That's the thing. We're not expending that money every single month on Alexis Sanchez's wages, so hopefully it can be used better elsewhere. If Inter are paying a large proportion of his wages, then you're talking about hundreds of thousands of pounds a week, whether it's 200 or 300, I don't know. But he's on huge money, way more than is actually justifiable. We have a comment from Abdallah Osman, who comments, Sanchez sale leaves us very short of options up front. And don't put Pogba in the mediocre category. There are many players who would get in that category first. Well, you make an interesting point, Abdallah. Yeah, I mean, I am firmly going to put Paul Pogba in the mediocre category, but you are right. There are players that do belong in there ahead of him. You know, loads of players actually at Manchester United that are not up to the standard, whether it be your Joneses or your Smallings or your Youngs. There's a lot of them. So I understand what you're saying, I do. But he's supposed to be the talismanic player in midfield for us there. He's supposed to be a match winner. He's supposed to be a creator and a playmaker for United, and he's just not quite up to the level. So, okay, he's had a lot of time. He has, and he's been good here and there. He's a 1-in-3 man. If you look at this season so far, one game he was great against Chelsea, and the other two bang average. I think he turns up 1-in-3. Every 1-in-3 matches, you'll see a world-class Paul Pogba, and the other two, it's a toss-up whether you're going to see a good one or an absolutely shite one. That's my opinion on it. I know a lot of people really rate Pogba and think if he had a better team around him, he'd be a much better player. Well, that would be the case for anybody, wouldn't it? Stick me in with Barcelona. Am I going to play better than if you stick me in with a dog and duck? I think it's safe to say that I would, just because they would make me look better. So it's funny when people say that, and I do sort of understand why. I'm only joshing there, but really, I mean, come on. If it just stands to reason, doesn't it? If you put Pogba in a better team with better players, would he play better? No, it's a hard one. That's why I think the best players are the sorts of players like a Ronaldo, for instance. I think you could put Ronaldo at Torquay United, and he's going to smash up the league. I really, really do. Those are the best players, I think. The ones that don't necessarily rely so much on teammates. They make things happen on their own, whether it's a Zlatan Ibrahimovic or teams play to a certain way to them because they're so bloody good. And I think that those are truly the great players, the leaders, the talismanic players that really affect a game. And I think those are two really good examples when you look at Ronaldo, the way that he led Portugal. And Portugal, during Ronaldo's time, this is post-Luis Figo pretty much. I know he overlapped a little bit. But they didn't have the squad that they used to. They've started to get some good players again now, but I mean, Portugal, with Ronaldo for a long time, he was supporting a really bang average team. Much worse than like Lionel Messi's Argentina, for instance. Same goes for Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He was supporting a bang average Sweden team, yet always was a talisman for them and made stuff happen. So I think those are the best players, in my opinion, the ones that can basically affect any game, whatever team you put them in. Paul Pogba in a United shirt, he's not one of those players, is he? Zlatan in a United shirt, he is one of those players. He is. He made stuff happen. That's my opinion. Thank you for your comment, though, mate. Much appreciate your opinion and having your say. Never feel like you shouldn't comment if you totally disagree with me. That's absolutely great. Do you know what I mean? This is a channel where we debate football, we talk about football, I give you my thoughts, and you better damn believe I want to hear your thoughts too. So let's hear them. Wengy Simmons comments and says, all the United fans will be put out of their misery when Ole Gunnar Solskjær is sacked by Christmas. Well, that's a very negative attitude to have, my friend. I mean, fair enough, he's not had the best of starts, and it could happen, to be fair. But I would like to think that even if United are having a mare, we would look to how we're playing. Look to how we're playing. That's the most important thing. Well, how we're playing at the moment is shite. But if he's got us playing well, and maybe he's given youth opportunities, and we're looking at sighting and we're entertaining, because that's what United should be about, entertaining the fans. It's not enough that United wins games boringly, Jose Mourinho style. No, United should be about entertaining the fans as well. And I think as long as the fans are getting that, The results may be secondary. I know that sounds ridiculous. It is a results industry, but I'm more interested in progression. I'm more interested in how he's, flooding the youth, and how we're sort of performing as a team. So the results are secondary, in my opinion. Let's see where we are at Christmas. I mean, fair enough. If he does get sacked this season, I'll be absolutely disappointed and gutted. But let's see. A lot's going to have to happen for that to be justifiable, in my opinion. I think he deserves a lot of time. It's only going to Solskjær, the baby-faced assassin. You're just going to kick him to the curb like some bloody ginger goblin David Moyes. Show some bloody respect, lads and lasses, okay? It's only gonna. He needs time, okay? This ain't Moisey. This isn't some twat from Everton. Do you know what I mean? Some ginger tosser scapegoat. This isn't him. This is Ole Gunnar Solskjær, the baby-faced assassin of Manchester United. Champions League final goal-scoring winner. Crikey. Need I say more? Anyway, I'm just saying that he needs more time. George Haralambus comments, Pigface, why is this podcast so late? It's just simply because I saw the news breaking. I was a little bit late to it. I think it was released about 11 p.m. on Sky. The news that this video is about, which is Alexis Sanchez agreeing a loan move with Inter Milan, or it's believed to be agreed, and there will be a medical tomorrow. That's what's being reported by Sky in Italy anyway, so they've got their information from somewhere. Griffo Chaz comments, Pig, have you seen that stat that Adam Johnson has more Premier League assists than Jesse Lingard in the last 6 years? And Adam Johnson's been in jail for 3. That's a messed up stat. He's also got some other stats as well that we probably shouldn't bring up. But no, fair enough. I mean, that is absolutely disgusting, isn't it? Look at Jesse Lingard's stats in general Griffo Chaz, because he's awful. I mean, he's absolutely awful. If you look what he's actually contributed to United over the last 14 months, which is the key period really we want to look at, I don't think he's got any assists and any goals, basically. He's bloody useless. His input to Manchester United has been dog, turd, bang, average shite. That is what it's been from Jesse Lingard. Unfortunately, Ole Gunnar, he said in his post-press conference that, he didn't want to jump on Lingard, and Lingard's an important player and he'll continue to be an important player, and yada, 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 doing his best Schmeigel impression. But realistically, he can't think that. There's no way Ole Gunnar Solskjær thinks that about Jesse Lingard. He'd have to have a rotting brain in order to think that about Jesse Lingard, because it's plain to the eye. It's plain to anybody that knows anything about football that Jesse Lingard is bang average shite. And I'm sorry, he shouldn't be featuring in every game for United. Oak is a decent squad player to have around. He works hard. He runs. That's about all he can do. He's a runner. He's a presser. But thank you very much there. I mean, I personally don't think he should be anywhere near the squad. He needs to be dropped immediately. Drop him, give Chong a chance. Drop him, give Angel Gomez a chance. Why Jesse Lingard? He's bloody been useless last couple of games. I don't get why Solskjær continues to pick him. We've got a comment here from Voodoo Chili 333. Says 50 goals out of the window. Don't know what you're referring to there though, buddy. I mean, are you talking about the fact that Alexis Sanchez and Herrera and Lukaku have gone? Because, realistically, there's probably somewhere in that amount of goals you'd expect them to get, but they wouldn't get that amount, would they? Because Lukaku didn't get 20 plus goals, Sanchez only got 3 last year, and Herrera didn't get that many either. So, really, it's not that many out the window, if that's what you're referring to anyway. F. Jones says, what do I think of Steve Bruce as manager? Have a guess, Pig. I'd say that you think he's bloody bang average. I mean, to be fair, though, I do like Steve Bruce. He's a bloody legend, mate. Come on. United legend. He's not the best of managers. He does struggle as a manager. He's a bit, some of the stuff I've seen after that game as well, like him sort of going, yeah, whatever, It made me laugh, but he's a bit of a character. You've got to be a character. When somebody shoveled your nose in, when somebody smashed your face in down the line, and you haven't even bothered to get that nose straightened, then you've got to have some bloody balls on you. That's all I'm saying. He doesn't give a shit, Steve Bruce. That's all I'm saying. He's got the nose of a Roman soldier, a battle-hardened Roman soldier. That's what he's got. Does he get that straightened? He doesn't give a shit. I like that about Steve Bruce. I do. We've got a comment here from Gaz Newton says, yes, Pig, sorry I'm late, only just joined. No worries, Gaz, thank you for getting in here. Better late than never. Simon Webb says, watch how well he plays for Inter. Very good comment, Simon. I think that he will play well for Inter. I do. He's a good player. He'll get a bit more space and time out there on the ball. He'll have a point to prove. So will Lukaku. You're going to see the holy trinity of mediocrity, or the duo of mediocrity currently until Pogba joins them, bossing the Serie A. Bossing Serie A, I believe that. We have a comment here from Nurisam Iksani, who says, are you kidding me? Result is always number one instead of entertaining play. Look at Arsenal, they're really lovely to watch, but in the end they never win anything. Well, yeah, it depends which way you look at it. I mean, I do think you're right. Actually, I do think you're right, but this is what I meant. United should not expect, we don't, the fans of United are not happy with just winning. We shouldn't just be the team that looks to win. That's why fans weren't happy with the Jose Mourinho as manager, with the style of play. We might have won games. We might have finished second in the league when we shouldn't have, and ground out loads of results. Chelsea, when Jose Mourinho was manager, they basically, one season they won the league. They sat back. They defended. Frank Lampard pop up in the 60th minute, nick a goal. They were boring as bloody dog shit to watch. They won the league, okay? All I'm saying is United expect to win, but we also expect to entertain. We also expect to be entertained and go about it the right way and play swashbuckling football. That's the way it should be. Kind of like Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool do. They expect the same thing. Scousers expect the same thing. Rightly or wrongly, they do. So that's all I meant. I know what you're saying, yeah. Okay, we'd all take a terrible George Graham Arsenal 1-0 every game, win the league right now. Of course we would. Absolutely. But I'm just saying United should be about swashbuckling football, and it should be about entertaining football and entertaining the fans too. Maybe you're right, though. Maybe it's not primary, it's secondary, but it's a bloody close, okay? But thank you very much for getting in there and correcting me, my friend. Patrick Quinn comments, yes, Pig, dance a business. We need to get rid of the clown Ed Woodward and those clowns, the Blazers. Me and you take on the world. Give them some of that and we'll smash up Anthony Joshua on the way. Crikey, put down the Guinness, Patrick. Holy shit, how many have you had? No, thank you very much for your comment there, Patrick Quinn. You may be referring to a video I made a couple of years ago called Calling Out Anthony Joshua. But also... yeah, you're right about Ed Woodward and the Glazers. They're complete clowns, man. And really, really, I can't condone violence, but these guys just need to get out of our club, don't they? They really do. I mean, they're not going to do it because they're just sapping money out, treating it as the business that it is, I suppose, to them. But it's not a business to us fans. It's something that we love. It's a passion. It's our football club. I really feel for Bury at the moment, because imagine if this was happening to United. And you know what? If the Glazers mismanaged United anymore, and we weren't such a brand, and they bought the club with all that debt money, and we weren't able to service that debt money because of the amazing work that Sir Alex did in the early years and the commercial deals that we've got because we're such a titan of a club, then guess what? We would be probably in a similar situation, even as a club like Manchester United, with the support that we have, because it can easily get away from you when your club is being financially mismanaged. And I don't think that would ever happen to United, because we've literally got millions, hundreds of millions of supporters all around the world. It's different when it's a much smaller club, but still, what I'm saying is, I just feel really bad that Bury has gone down, and I can understand it, because the way that the Glazers are running Manchester United, it just. The community, the solidarity, the family club, it's slowly being sucked away from us. It really is. It's being sucked away. The club is now a big commercial entity where they haul themselves out and put the logo on bloody noodles and all this stuff. And you've got a chairman and owners that are just basically milking money out of the club and treating it as a cash cow. It's just so sad what has become of United. It's no wonder that we're so shite out there on the pitch, because it all stems from the top. We've got a super chat from Nick Brown. Thank you very much for getting in here, Nick. Much appreciated. Boom chanker to you. Who comments, great logo. Great logo. Great new logo, Pig. Thank you very much, Nick. Much appreciated. Shout out to Alex Norman for that logo. Anyway, guys, right, I'm pretty much going to wrap this up. I was just going to jump on here for 10 minutes. It's now hit the 35-minute mark. It's 23 minutes past 12 at night, or early morning, depending on how you look at it. I've got to get to bed. So just want to say, everybody who's in here, thanks for stopping by. Smash a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Tomorrow, keep a lookout, 3 p.m. UK time. Ow, I just bit me bloody tongue. We'll be going live for the Pig and the Hen show. There's a bit of blood in my mouth now at 3 p.m. UK time. So please do stop by on the channel around about then, and we will hopefully entertain you with some Spurs versus United bullshit. Hopefully it's going to be a bit more of a sensible chat tomorrow with Henry. Maybe he won't have smashed so many beers down before. Let's see. Anyway, guys, you're a bunch of legends. All of you guys at the end. George Haralambus, the Whistler, the Russian cat. What's his name? I'd love to know what your name is, buddy. I think you did say something up there, but I cannot go back and find it. So, but you know who you are. Thank you very much for getting here. Wengie Simmons, all the usual legends. Thanks so much. Nick Brown, you're a bunch of heroes. I'll see you very, very soon. Like, subscribe, and comment if you're new around here as well. You can follow me on social media at Mr. Flying Pig HD. Once again, I want to say thanks to Alex Norman and Steven Sevon for helping with the logo and stuff like that. You're a bunch of heroes. I'll see you tomorrow for the Pig and the Hen show. Make sure you do tune in, 3 p.m. UK time. And until then, you have yourselves a bloody good one. And if I didn't answer your any of your comments or questions, you know I would like to, and I must have missed them. So do stop along in a moment once this video's been published to YouTube. Get your thoughts in about Alexis Sanchez potential move to Inter Milan on loan this season from United. What do you think about it? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it leaves us short? Let me know all your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. I'll see you tomorrow anyway. You've been watching Flying Pig United. I've been the pig. Oh, that was a bad one. I'll see you soon. Take it easy. And come on, United. Sort your bloody lives out.